up that cost. If Stager has to come help Crete, are the taxpayers in Stager going to pay for that, or are Crete and CCA going to reimburse Stager? Will County Sheriffs. Our deputies, we got about 2 to 3 deputies per shift. They cover an area from basically New Lenox all the way out here. We already know sometimes it's really hard to get them out here. If there is a problem at the facility and they have to come out here and they're out by New Lenox, I've asked a couple of different sheriff's deputies, how long is it going to take you to get here? They can't tell me. What they say is it's going to depend on traffic, it's going to depend on weather, and it's going to depend on what they were involved in at the time that call comes in. They hope they'll be out here real quick because it's a fraternity, a brotherhood, but again, if they're in the middle of a robbery or something, they can't just walk away from that and hightail it out here. Illinois State Police, we don't have Illinois State Police out here. Most of the towns around here, same thing, 2 to 3 guys per shift. Some of the police chiefs have said, if you got a problem, I can't empty out my town. I got a responsibility to protect my citizens. So these are some of the questions you'll want to ask the village, and they probably are not going to have good answers to. But the worst thing is, it's going to be the village of Crete responsible for drawing up the emergency response plan, not ICE. And who's the village? Your trustees, your neighbors, your family, your friends. What kind of expertise do they have in drawing up an emergency response plan for what's basically a prison? So are they going to hire someone, a company to come in and do that? And again, that money would come out of your tax dollars. So there's so much to this whole issue, and it goes on and on and on. Once they do the construction and they bring in the bulldozers, are the bulldozers going to be retrofitted with diesel reduction emission controls? If not, diesel pollution severely affects children who have asthma and seniors who have respiratory problems. If they're sick and they're missing school, that affects their ability to learn. If you have asthma problems and you get sick and you're off work, that affects your paycheck. Will County is the 14th highest county in the state of Illinois for pollution problems, and we lose a tremendous amount of money in Will County from pollution from people being off work. So there's all kinds of hidden costs into this situation, and unfortunately, they're things that either the village doesn't know about or they're not telling you about. So we're hoping that with you guys here tonight, you can start asking them some of these questions, and maybe they'll start doing some research and be able to have some answers, because without these answers, is this the appropriate facility at Crete or not? Regarding the money, Crete has said they're going to make money off of this, and yes, they will, because ICE will pay Crete what's called per diem. We don't know the dollar amount yet because they haven't agreed to that. But New Jersey just did an agreement for $108 a day. So 750 people, $108 a day, the money adds up. But the problem is, Crete's not going to be able to keep all that money because it's not their jail, it's not their building, it's not their employers. So they're going to have to turn the bulk of that money over to CCA because that's who's taking the risk. Now, on average, they say it costs about $55 a day to house a detainee. So if New Jersey got $108 and it costed about $55, that's almost double. So why is our government paying almost double to the private for-profit prison companies to run the detention centers? What this is doing, it's allowing these companies to make hundreds of millions of dollars and to make their corporate officers extremely rich at your expense, because the money that ICE is using to pay them is coming out of your tax dollars. So, are you really going to be better off financially, according to the mayor, when it's your money paying for this to begin with? And that's something that they don't want to talk about. If they took all that money that they're paying those private detention centers, all that extra profit that they're paying them, and used it, say, for education, for maybe veterans' health care, maybe to fix some roads and bridges, because we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars per year pure profit to these private detention companies. If that money was put back into the economy, into, say, education, veterans affairs, road and bridges, That would create more middle-class jobs than the jobs that are being created by these so-called private-for-prison companies. So why are our politicians putting our tax dollars in corporate officers' pockets and not back into our pockets, creating jobs for us and improving the economy? Then we have safety concerns. The village really doesn't want to talk about the safety concerns, so that's something you're going to want to raise with them. If something does happen at the facility, is there going to be some kind of warning alert system? Will there be like a siren? If something happened at the facility, will Main and Burville be blocked off? Because you got all the traffic from the high school right there as they come in the morning and they leave in the afternoon. So if something happened at the facility, how's that going to impact the school? Will there be a system to notify the school when something happens so that the school can take precautions? Heaven forbid if there had to be a lockdown or something like that. A medium security detention facility is really not something you want within walking distance of homes and schools because of the security risks. And we really don't understand why the village would want to put this in the location it's putting it in. So we hope that that's some other questions that we'll raise to the village, what kind of emergency response plan they're going to have for the community. Thank you.